guys, welcome back to my channel. Two things really quickly before we begin. One, I've got a new background. It's sequins. It's amazing. I'm so happy with it. I thought I would change it up a little bit. I've had a lot of the background that I had before, so I thought I'd get something new. And it actually goes really nicely with the eye look. Lots of glitter, lots of glam, lots of glow. Secondly, I apologise that I haven't had a video up recently. I think it's been about a week, maybe a week and a half. I've actually been super busy. I haven't had a chance to film. Obviously, I have to have kind of set times. Having a baby girl, it is time dependent on what she's doing, what her arrangements are with her life. And she didn't want to let me film last weekend. And also, like I said, I've just been super busy. So I apologise, but I am trying to upload at least at the minimum once a week. So this look is actually a full face of high-end makeup. So everything that you see on my face is something that is not necessarily found at the drugstore / Superdrug or Boots. Sephora items, things that you can get on Cult Beauty, Beauty Bay. Most things I've used, actually almost everything I use, you can find in the UK very easily, so I try not to use things that are really hard to get. If you want to see how I got this look, please keep on watching. So two things really quickly. Excuse my face, because as you can see, I'm having lots of issues. My face is going a bit mad, don't really know what's going on. So yeah, I have a few guests on my face. Not welcome, don't know where they came from, don't know why they thought they were invited, because they're definitely not. But yeah, this is what we're dealing with today, unfortunately. I have already got my eyebrows on, as you can see, and I've also primed my lids as well, because I'm going to start with the eyes. I'm going to be using two palettes. So I'm going to be using the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye palette, and I'm also going to be using the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. A little bit of a throwback there. So firstly, using the Shade and Light palette, I'm going in with this top shade up here called, I think, Gwen, and I'm just going to set over the whole lid just to make sure there isn't any creasing. So firstly, going into my crease with this shade up here called Latest. This is one of my favourite crease shades ever. The plan for today's look is to go for something winged out, warm. Probably going to put a little bit of glitter or a pigment on the eye just to make it kind of like a soft glam kind of thing. That's the plan. Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to scoot you a little bit closer. 2 seconds. Okay, so just continuing with that crease shade. I'm taking that nice and high because I really love that peachy colour and I want that to really come through. And then going into the shade in the bottom called Latinus, and I'm just taking that on a slightly more defined brush and taking that into my crease. Focusing that mainly on the outer corner. On the Morphe M541 brush, I'm going to go back into the same shade, pick up a little bit more and pack that on, and really define the outer V. I'm going to really smoke that outer corner out. And then sweep it into the crease. As you can probably tell, I am being a little bit messy because I'm going to go in with a wipe and clean it up afterwards. I'm now going to take the shade just next to it called Side Tree. These names look like they are, some of them look Latin, some of them are names. I honestly don't know how to pronounce most of these, so excuse me if I butcher all of them, which I probably will. And smoking out the outer corner again. Going in with a fluffy brush and just taking this nice peachy shade up here, Latest I think it was called, and just buffing out those shades. Going back in with Latinus, this shade here, taking it on my Morphe M330 brush and taking some of that colour onto the outer portion of the lid and then into the crease. And then taking a big fluffy brush with no extra product and just blending that all in. Going back into Lattice and buffing out the edges of that colour on a slightly less fluffy brush. So this is where this palette comes into play. So I'm going to take the shades Bathwater, which is up here, and also the shade Pop, which is down here, and just mix those together. They are the two of the satin shades. And I'm gonna just put those all over my lid. I'm not actually leaving it as that. I am going on top of that with one of the Stila Magnificent Metals. This is in the shade Diamond Dust. Now the reason I put this on my lids first was because I wanted to give it a slightly more golden kick to it, because this is slightly more silver. It does have golden reflex to it, but I wanted a little bit of a more golden base, and also I find it easier to do this, then I can kind of clean up on the lid and get rid of some of those brown shades, and it also helps me kind of trace where I want to go with this. So I'm going to go straight on top with this, just straight from the wand. I find that you absolutely don't need a glitter glue or primer or anything with this on top. It just glides straight on and then it dries really quickly and it does not budge once it's dried. These are so incredibly beautiful, it's unreal. Is that not absolutely beautiful? The reason I took it a little bit higher was to make my lid shape a little bit bigger, but I am going to go in and actually take some of it off because I went a touch too high. So I'm going to take a nice little defined brush with no extra product, and I'm just going to buff away right at the top before it dries. And then taking the Morphe M330 brush, and I'm just going to take the shade at the end, I can't remember its name, Latinus, and just buff that ever so slightly into that crease. And also flick away any glitters that might have escaped. Most of them stay put perfectly, but obviously you do get one or two that fly away. I'm going to wait for that to completely dry and then I will come back and buff that into the outer corners. And I will go ahead and quickly do the other eye, do exactly the same thing, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so now that's dried a little bit, I'm going to go in and take the shade Sight Tree, which is right here, and take that into the crease, just to darken up a little bit and to flick away any glitters that might have gone too high. I'm going to do the same in both eyes. I decided that I wanted to deepen it a little bit more and have it slightly more as a soft cut crease kind of style. So I'm just taking dark brown right into there. And taking the big fluffy brush and taking this peachy shade, buffing that all out and being careful of the lid because I don't want to move it around too much. Although it does dry really well, it's only been on for a few minutes, so I don't want to move it around too much just in case it hasn't all fully set. Hey guys, sorry, so I realised my camera actually cut out. I didn't do too much. All I did was I went in with this white shade here called Celios, I think is what it's called, and just highlighted my brow bone, and then went in with Lattice up here and just buffed out the shades and then blended that into the white shade underneath my brow bone. So now the glitter has dried on both eyes, I'm going to go in with a mixture of these two browns and just buff over it a little bit. I'm not going to buff too much, I'm just going to press a little bit as well because I don't want to flake away too much of the glitter down my face, which is what has happened a little bit already because I am a bit aggressive with my makeup. I'm just going to take a wipe and I'm just going to clean up the under eye. So obviously you do get a little bit of glitter fallout, but considering you don't use any glue, it's not that bad at all. Okay, So I've gotten off as much glitter as I can. I am just going to go straight on and continue with my face, and then I'll come back and finish the eyes up a bit later. I'm going to quickly add a little bit more moisturiser onto my face. I'm still using and loving the L'Oreal primer. I'm hoping, I don't mean primer, I mean moisturiser. I'm hoping it's not that's been breaking me out. Okay, I am going to quickly go in with the Makeup Forever Step 1 Smoothing Primer. I'm just going to take that in between my two fingers and just press that into my nose mainly and onto any porous areas. And then I'm taking the MAC Strobe Cream all over my face. Give me a little bit of glow. I put way too much on. I'm just gonna rub that in with the fingers. Oh bugger. And for foundation today, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I am in the shade Ivory. I believe they've come out with new shades now. I bought this before they extended their shade range. I think they've come out with lighter ones. So this is a little bit on the yellow side. As you can see, that comes off really yellow compared to my skin. I don't know if it will pick up on the camera as much as it does in person, but yeah, it's pretty yellow. Sorry guys, I completely forgot to zoom you back out again, so I'm sure you had a lovely close-up of my face when I applied my foundation. But I'm just doing a light second layer. Especially over the area where I have lots of blemishes. Which is pretty much everywhere at the moment, so lots of foundation for me. And then for concealer, I am using the Tarte Shape Tape in Fair Neutral, favourite concealer of life. It is super full coverage, so I don't want to use too much. Again, she says that she applies loads. I swear I have a problem. I have a problem. Thing is, I just don't know when to stop. Oh well. I mean, you know what? As we're going for it, let's just do that too, shall we? Let's just do that too. Oh, I want your love. Just gonna redampen my sponge a touch. What I want to know, ladies and gents, is have you been watching Orphan Black? It's on Netflix. Well, actually me and Zach, my partner, have both been watching it and we are totally obsessed with it. Whoever thought of having clones as a show is just literally a genius. I'm sorry. Actually, no, I didn't give it away because it does say that in the description, to be fair. Oh my gosh, it's just so good. I recommend it to you guys so much. Like, I really recommend it. Definite recommendation. I am just gonna take some foundation on my ears because, again, my ears are so freaking red. Even though I don't have a pink undertone. That's a thing that happens. Okay, so I'm just going to set all the areas of my face that I have concealer. Firstly, with the Makeup Forever HD powder. Does it say anything else? Micro Finish powder. It's translucent. This is super finely milled. I do find it has a slight smell to it, and because it's so finely milled, it like floats up into my nostrils. I know that's like a really weird thing to say. Do you guys get that though? Like, if you have a really finely milled powder, does it ever like just float up your nose and you're like like, it's just, can you see the powder coming out of that? It's a gorgeous powder, but yeah, it is very fine. Oh yeah. Ooh. As you can see, I'm pressing that powder into my skin just to help the longevity of that makeup. Make sure that it isn't going anywhere, especially around my T-zone and my nose, and make sure I get in a little crevice right here. And then with a fluffier brush, I'm just going to take that and set over the rest of my face very lightly. I didn't pick up too much powder because I don't want to be too dry. And this foundation I find sets pretty well, so I'm just taking that on my ears as well. Okay, for bronzer, I am using the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Medium / Deep Matte Bronzer. This bronzer is so good! I literally only think the dogs could hear that noise that I just made. Yeah, this bronzer is so good. I actually in love with it. I'm going to take that on a slightly smaller brush first. It is quite warm, so I'm not intending to do too much contouring. I'm just making sure that I'm keeping it quite defined so that it doesn't fall down my face too much. Blend that in. This is just a BH Cosmetics brush, by the way. I actually really love this brush. I don't know if it has a name. It does. The 126 brush. And then going in with my Morphe big fluffy brushes, the M527. I'm just taking that and bronzing up my skin. I'm actually just going to quickly take the lightest shade in the eyeshadow palette on my face, just to define it down here. So I'm just taking that and defining that bronzer a little. And for blush, I'm taking one of the Tarte 24-hour Amazonian clay blushes, and this is in the shade Glisten. It's such a beautiful blush. It looks really pink and daunting in the pan, but actually it's really beautiful when you get it on the face. It looks like a very natural flush. Just gonna go over that with my bronzer brush and just make sure they're nicely merged together. Before I apply my highlighter, I'm gonna quickly spray my face with the MAC Fix Plus. And then I'm quickly highlighting before it dries completely, not when it's soaking wet, because sometimes I find that when you apply, I've got it literally like drenched in my hair. Yeah, I find when you apply it straight on top after you sprayed it, it can lift and kind of smear around the foundation because you've made the foundation really wet, and you have to reset a little bit before you go in. Taking the Becca highlighter in Champagne Pop, which is beautiful. The glow from this is so gorgeous. It doesn't have any small little shimmers in it. It's really glowy and wet looking, like your skin just looks so healthy with this highlighter on. It's absolutely beautiful. This is definitely for me. So if you like an intense highlighter, if you like them nice and golden, which I do tend to prefer over a pinky highlighter, this highlight is for you. And also, Jacqueline Hill here on YouTube created the shade with Becca. So I'm just doing right above the brow bone. Let's take a little bit. Just do the Cupid's bow. Just right underneath the eyebrows, on the bridge of the nose, on the tip of the nose. Just a touch on the chin. Okay, so now to finish up the eyes, I am going to do the smallest little line on my lid, and I really do mean I'm trying to do it as small as I can, just to line it a little bit so that the lashes merge better with mine, because especially the lashes I'm using, they do have quite a thick band. So I'm just gonna do a tiny little one if I can. I completely forgot to say before I did it, but I just used the Kat Von D tattoo liner in the shade Trooper. I'm just gonna apply a quick coat of mascara. This is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And for lashes today, I'm going to be using the Dodo lashes. And these are in the style 119. They're so fluttery and wispy and beautiful. They're still really full. And they've got that kind of nice winged out shape as well. I haven't tried these before. This is my first time using them. Okay, here it goes. Pray for me, guys. Me and lashes have not been friends recently. So fingers crossed it works out okay. We did it, folks. We put the lash on. It's actually a miracle because I didn't think I was going to do it. It worked and it's beautiful. I'm actually a little bit obsessed with this lash. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this on camera. Genuinely the weirdest thing is happening right now. So this eye, the lash fits beautifully, went on beautifully, absolutely fine. This eye, the lash looks so much longer. I brought it in a little bit more just to, they are matched, like the inside is exactly the same position on both eyes, as in they both come in just as far, but this one just looks so much longer. I repositioned it like 3 times as well, so I don't really know what's going on with that. It just doesn't want to know. I literally don't know what's going on with this eye situation right now. But yeah, I know, I'm just throwing that out there in case you think like, that inner corner's flying up and that's really long, like what's she doing? I am aware. You know, it's just playing me a little bit. It is playing me a little bit. Let's just ignore the eye situation and move on to the under eye eyeshadow. I'm pretty certain I'm missing some brushes, but I am feeling like the laziest human in the world and I really can't be bothered, so I'm going to try and make do with this brush instead. It's not as small as I would usually use, but oh well, usually I would suggest using a pencil brush, something like that folks. Don't do what I'm doing and be lazy. Luckily I wanted my under eye a little bit smoky anyway, so certainly it's gonna be now. I'm gonna do something risky and I'm gonna try using a paddle brush to do on my under eyes. I know the simple solution would be to go upstairs and get a different brush, but I'm afraid that's just not gonna happen. I'm just taking these 2 shades here and just bringing that all the way across. Do you know what? That didn't actually work too badly. So now I'm nice and smoked on the bottom. I used the 2 browns on the bottom row. I'm going to quickly apply some bottom lash mascara just to finish up the eyes. I lied, that isn't the last thing I'm going to do in the eyes. I'm going to quickly highlight my brow bone. Okay, so I just cleaned this brush and I'm going to use this brush to highlight my brow bone. I'm going in with the same highlighter I used on my face. Champagne Pop. Going under the brow bone with that. And then I'm also putting that on the inner corner. Okay, so for lips I'm using the MAC lip liner in Subculture. You can tell this is well loved because it is very small now. It's still going strong. It's just like a really perfect nude lip liner. Goes anything, it's neutral, it's just gorgeous. I'm just filling my whole lips in with this lip liner as well. I was going to go over the top of that with a liquid lipstick, but I think I'm actually just going to go over straight with a gloss because I really like that colour. And what I was going to use was a Colour Drain one, but I think it's going to be a bit dark. So I'm using the Gerard Cosmetics Candy Kiss gloss. I don't know if they have a specific like longer name, but just one of their lip glosses. It's got a little mirror on the side and it also has a frickin' light. Like, is that not the coolest gloss ever? Just gonna quickly go in and re-highlight the Cupid's bow. I just put a little bit more of that lip liner over top of the gloss to make to take away some of that pink, because it was more pink than I remembered it being. So I've just gone over it again and I'm just gonna clean up the lips very, very quickly. So I've redefined the lip shape a little bit. I'm going to go back in with the lip liner. Just make sure it's exactly the shape that I want. There we go. And so this is the finished look for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Fingers crossed I'm going to be doing at least once a week for you guys. And again, I'm really sorry about the long break that there was. If you like this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe, and there's also a little notification bell that you can press as well, and that will give you notifications every time that I upload. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.